What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new, and welcome to one of the final days of Vlogmas. Today's video is kind of an annual tradition. I have a couple of Vlogmas videos that I like to film every single year and tell you guys about. So this one is going to be my most memorable moments of 2023. I feel like right now I'm kind of like one of the celebrities on Dancing with the Stars when they pick their most memorable year and then they do a dance about it. This is my most memorable 2023. So I'm going to go month by month, and I have my planner in front of me, and each month I write down like highlights on a little tiny sticky note. I'll show you guys what I mean. And I stick it to that month in the planner, and then at the end of the year I do this video. And that's kind of how I recap my year, which is so much fun. So I'll put video clips for anything I have, and we're just going to dive in. First, we're going to start in January of 2023. So in January, Angela and I had a really fun date night. We went to a place called Flipside Easton, and we went to the Amazon Style store, which is kind of monumental now because Amazon Style has officially closed all store locations. So it's kind of a unique, fun experience that we did. We, in January, this is huge, started the We Run on Coffee podcast, my podcast with my bestie Marissa. It's so much fun. We love doing it. We do a new episode every single week, so definitely check it out if you haven't. But that just started in January, and we already have so many listeners. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts if you listen to our podcast. It is so much fun, and it's made us so much closer friends, which I really appreciate. And finally, in January, I went to Disney on Ice with Angelo and my siblings. It was our Christmas gift to them, to take them to Disney on Ice, have a really fun time, buy them some like merch and stuff, and it was so much fun. We loved it. Moving on to February. February, our first We Run on Coffee podcast episode went live. So in January is when we started concepting, filming, doing graphics, all that. February is when the first episode went up, and it went so well. Also in February, it went so well that we unlocked ads, and we got to put ads on our podcast and make a little money. So beyond grateful. It was so cool. Also in February of this year, this is crazy, but I started the Invisalign conversation and got started with my orthodontist. So I can't believe that because I'm almost done with them. I'm about to be done with them, I think probably in January. So a little less than a year, which is incredible. And I'm really liking how they really made my smile look. Next thing in February, we went bouldering and had a game night with Kyle and Marissa. Marissa from my podcast, and also Kyle, who's Angelo's cousin. They're married, and we had such a fun time. We just had a super fun game night. We ate Chinese food, and it was so fun. And lastly, in February, we went to a comedy show at the Funny Bone for our date night, which was incredible, and we've had some really good date nights this year. Okay, March is so exciting. In March, we went to Nashville, which is a really fun trip we took with Angelo and his dad. You can see it in my travel video, so if you haven't watched it, definitely check it out. And then also in March, we had our third annual, I guess not annual, but we had our third Woman Up Market, which is a market that I ran with my friend Taylor. In the past, it's been at Freedom a la carte in Columbus, Brewdog Brewery in Columbus, and this time it was at Polaris Mall at the Cohatch. So we had an incredible time, and we had so many amazing vendors there. After that, it was April. So like I mentioned, in February I kind of started my Invisalign process, got the conversation going, got scanned for my aligners and all of that, and in April is when I actually got my Invisalign aligners and started the progress. So that's even harder to believe that it's only been a few months of having Invisalign and I'm almost finished. Also in April, we got patio estimates. So we reached out to a construction place and got some estimates on how much it would cost to add a patio onto our house, which was a really cool and exciting process. And we submitted our paperwork to get that done. So in April was just like a lot of waiting and hoping that that would all go through as planned. And then also in April, we took a trip to Cleveland, again, in my travel vlog, but we had a really nice time doing a little spring break trip with Angelo's family. May is a big month. You guys have a long list, but in May, I went to hip hop class with my friend Marissa, which is so cool because I always go to hip hop and I love hip hop, but in May specifically, my friend Marissa and Grace, if you guys know, is my boyfriend's sister. Her and her girlfriend Lauren also were there, so we had a big group at hip hop. It was so cool. Also in May, I traveled to Virginia to visit Marissa and Kyle. I went to a Sabrina Carpenter concert with Angelo. She is one of our mutual favorite singers, and I've been to a couple of her concerts, so I love her. I went to Philadelphia for my work trip where my train caught on fire. If you know, you know, and if you don't, check my YouTube videos out. And I also met my mom for Mother's Day, which is really nice. We had lunch and got to shop, which was just our favorite thing to do anyway, so that was nice. Also in May, this is huge and very exciting for me, May is when I hit 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, so thank you guys so much for being subscribed if you are. I appreciate it times a million, and that got me halfway toward unlocking ads for my YouTube channel, which would be honestly incredible if I could monetize something that I just find so fun and have been doing for years for fun because I literally love making videos, so thank you guys. In May, I started the Couch to 5K running program. I can't even believe I'm saying that, and I can't even believe I did that, you guys. In May, I also did the 5K Race for the Cure, which is the race that supports breast cancer. Angelo and I and his dad, we did this as a walk, so I didn't run, but we just did the 5K walk, and we do this every year as well, so that was cool. More in May, I celebrated my sister Madison's birthday with her and my dad and Angelo and our family, and we had a really nice cookout, and it was just so much fun. And then I also hit my 1-year anniversary at my job in May, which was incredible and really hard to believe. I don't feel like I've been there for over a year now, almost 2. But in May, I hit my 1 year and I got a raise. So that was incredibly rewarding and a really good experience. In June, we made significant progress on our garage. So this sounds kind of random, but our garage, when we moved into our house, had been completely full of everything we owned. Because when we moved into our house, we were kind of renovating and moving at the same time, which was horrible planning on our end, but we didn't know because we'd never done it before. So everything we owned got put into the garage and stacked all the way up, like to the ceilings, above and beyond, and it took us a long time, almost a year, to like get it all out of there. It was insane, but in June I made so much progress on it, and I got it to where we could park our cars in there, and it just changed the game for our house in general. Also in June, our patio was finished, so we had officially had the patio put into the house. It was so nice to use it for the rest of summer. We used it a ton, and it looks incredible, so that's great. And in June, of course, I went to the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. It was amazing. Best concert experience ever. More than a concert. Simply cannot describe it as anything other than an experience in itself, but it was amazing, and I had the best time. So yeah, I do have a vlog about that, I'm pretty sure, so definitely check it out if you guys are interested. In July, I visited the lavender fields with my mom and my cousin Delaney right after we went to Eras Tour. The next day we drove home, and there were these lavender fields near Dayton, Ohio, and it was so much fun. We stopped, it was a little rainy, but we still picked some lavender and just had so much fun hanging out. And then I also had the 4th of July that I spent with my mom and all of my cousins, my aunt, my cousin Pam, who you guys might know on my channel, maybe, and her daughters, and we just had like a big group at the campground, and we hung out all day, which was so fun. Also in July, this is huge, we had our patio like finalized, coated, ready to go, and then I completely decorated it. So July was the month where like I really got all the furniture, the umbrella, we did some DIY projects, and really made it our own cozy space, and it turned out amazing. Also in July, we went to this movie at the Ohio Theater, so we actually got to see Star Wars projected onto a big screen at the Ohio Theater, sitting in the theater seats. It was so beautiful because you could look around and just feel like you were at a play, but you were watching Star Wars. It was so cool, and definitely a highlight. I know Angelo had so much fun because he loves Star Wars, so that was really cool. And a few more things for July. We had thrown Julie, Angelo's mom, a 50th birthday luau party. That was so much fun. It was really the first time that we got to use our patio to its full extent. We hosted everybody over at our house, and we just had a big luau, and it was a surprise. So she had no idea, and she was shocked. Like, we really successfully did the surprise. She had no clue when she came in what to expect. It was awesome. And the last few things for July, it was Willow's 2nd birthday. So if you guys don't know, my best friend Cree, who is my best friend since kindergarten, has a daughter, Willow, and it was her 2nd birthday this July, which is very hard to believe because a minute ago she was a baby. We got our grill, so that was the final addition to the patio that wrapped it all up. I got my hair done blonde, and it's ironic because there is an upcoming big change with my hair in January coming up, so stay tuned. And the last thing of July, can't believe I'm saying this, but I ran my first 5K in July. You guys, when I tell you that before that, I couldn't even successfully run a mile. I couldn't even run for 5 minutes when I started. It was so overwhelming to be able to actually say I ran a 5K and I did it. So that was a really, really cool experience for me. In August, we saw Rob Schneider, the comedian, live. So that was really fun, and we did that for my cousin Pam. Her husband Scotty turned 50, and so we went and visited them in Kentucky, and us and all of our cousins, my mom, my stepdad, everybody went to see Rob Schneider, the comedy show, and then just have a birthday party for him all weekend, which was so fun because it's kind of rare that we get everybody together in the way that we did, and that was also a surprise birthday, so that was cool. In August, we went to probably the second best concert I've ever seen in my life. If it weren't for Taylor Swift, it would be the best. But we saw Hardy, Morgan Wallen, Ernest, Bailey Zimmerman, and I think that's everybody. I don't know, but it was the best country concert of my life. I had the best time. I'm a huge, huge Morgan Wallen fan. If you guys don't know, my Spotify Wrapped was Morgan Wallen as my top singer, but also Morgan Wallen as all 5 of my top 5 songs. So I was dying, but so happy to be there, and I had a great time. I went with Angelo and his dad, and we all loved it. Finally, 2 more things. So in August, we celebrated 1 year of owning our home, which was really hard to believe that we were coming on a year, especially considering how much work we've put into it, and all the time we just keep working and working and working on it and never really reflecting, so that was cool. And finally, I had a sleepover at my house with Cree, my best friend, and her daughter Willow, so they came to stay with us, and it was way too much fun, and we had a mini sleepover, so I loved that. We're on to September, and in September my best friend Taylor left for LA. It was really sad, but we did have a going away party, which was a lot of fun, and we hosted it at our house, which was really cool. And so a lot of her friends came through and stopped in and out, and we got to use the patio and really do our hosting thing that we love to do, so that was awesome. But bittersweet because she left for LA, but she's actually visiting me right now during Vlogmas, so that's a relief because we've been missing each other. Next thing in September, so much fun, went to the apple orchard. I don't recall ever going to an apple orchard in my life, so it was something I just felt like, let's go do that. It's so fall. And we went with Angelo, his dad, his brothers and sisters, and then Cree and Willow, and we just had a great time. So it was so much fun. And also connected to the apple orchard was a sunflower patch, so we got some really cute pictures of Willow and all of us and had a great time. And then also in September, towards the end of the month, we did the exact same thing except with the pumpkin patch. So all of the same people joined us, and we went and picked out pumpkins at the pumpkin patch at a different place, and it was so much fun. And I just love doing those things with Willow because she's 2, and that's so fun to see her be so excited to ride in the wagon and pick the apples and pick up the pumpkins. It's so cute. Finally, in September, we made more progress on the house. We installed trim, we finished up some painting things, and we're just getting little projects done further and further as we go, and stuff really started to come together. So I feel like in 2024, that's when the house is really going to flourish and things are going to finally start to get solidified, I feel like. But, you know, they say as a homeowner, there's always another project to be worked on, so we'll see. Okay, you guys, for October, I literally didn't write anything down. That's actually crazy. But I'm just looking at what I have written down in my calendar, and it looks like some notable things were that, well, a few things. So first, we got to travel in October to Hocking Hills for the wedding of Kyle and Marissa, who I've been talking about in this video. They actually got married in October, and it was so beautiful. So we got to travel for that. We went zip lining on our way down. We got to do the actual wedding itself. Tried new food and coffee shops in the area. We just had a really, really nice weekend. But after that weekend, something very notable is that Angela and I both got very sick and took off of work and school for the following week. It was not a fun time. We were so incredibly sick, and that was horrible, but worth it because we had a really nice time at the wedding, and I think that took up most of our month. However, after that, there were still 2 fun things that we did. So we went to the Hannah Berner comedy show in Columbus. So much fun. I really enjoyed it. Angelo was not super familiar with her, but I knew her. just from social media and kind of like her influencing, but I've also seen her comedy online, and it was really good in real life. And then also Angelo's cousin Maria got engaged, so we went to visit Maria and Jake and go to their engagement party and kind of hang out with them and talk to them about their engagement, which was so happy and so fun. And the last thing that we kind of have on the list for October is that we got to celebrate my sister's birthday, which is actually September 30th, but we did it the weekend after into October. So we got to visit my parents and see my sister for her birthday, which is always fun. We're rounding out the year. We're in November. So in November, we did the Ohio State Stadium tour. I don't think that this made it on my channel. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I only put this on Instagram, so I'll definitely throw in some clips, but it was so much fun. We got a private tour of the Ohio Stadium, and it was awesome. We had celebrated our 6-year anniversary, mine and my boyfriend Angelo's. So to celebrate that, we decided to travel to Asheville, North Carolina. Went on a little vacation, much needed. So that was great. And then we had our November date night, which was a candlelight concert. Very cool. I really regret that I didn't take videos or pictures, but I was just so there. Like, I was really in the moment and I just didn't want to get out my phone and ruin it. But we went to a candlelight concert, so there were 4 people playing string instruments. I think there was like 2 violins, a viola, and like a cello or something like that. 4 string instruments, and it was inside the Ohio State House, which was so beautiful. And the only light they had was candlelight for this whole entire concert. It was incredible. I highly recommend checking out candlelight concerts. They travel around, so there might be some near you, and it was such a good experience. I loved it. Also in November, I celebrated my 25th birthday. Very weird to think of. And then 4 days after my 25th birthday, we left for Washington, D.C. for our family vacation. Again, visiting Kyle and Marissa. Big theme this year, traveling to each other, but this was a trip with all of Angela's family, which is the most fun when that gets to happen. So we did a big trip and played family football, and on that trip, spoiler if you haven't watched my other videos, also in November, I broke my finger. It's still broken. It hurts so bad every day. It's bothering me right now, which is annoying, but big event in November was literally breaking my finger playing football at Angelo's family Thanksgiving. So always a fun time. And finally, that brings us around to December. I don't have a lot written down for December because we just got here and, you know, not too much has happened that's been crazy, but 2 things that I wrote were, first of all, I found out in December that I don't need surgery or PT, physical therapy, on my finger, which was really a blessing because I was really nervous about those things. And overall, I'm doing pretty good. It has some limited mobility. If you guys can see that, my ring finger can't quite bend the same way that the others can, but I'm working on it. And then also, the last thing for December so far, because the month's not over yet, is that we had our surprise trip. Angela took me on a surprise trip for our date night, and we stayed in a treehouse in the woods. It was incredible. It's called Dwell Box if you want to check it out. But we had the best long weekend, just relaxing. It snowed, which was so pretty. We had the best food, the best coffees, and the best time. Anyway, you guys, that is all for the most memorable moments of my 2023. I feel like it's incredible to look back on. I can't believe that all happened in this one year. And it makes me really excited for 2024 because I know that we're going to be doing the most, like we always are, and it's going to be a good time. So I'm pumped for it. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting all of Vlogmas, and bye.